Hello, potential world travelers. This is Mrs. Newkirk, and I wanted to make a quick video going over some points for the Britain and Ireland in-depth tour. We're set to go on tour in July of 2016. So if you want to find out more information, go ahead and check out this website right here with this number. That's how you'll find our tour site. Okay. So a little bit, I want to talk a little bit about myself and what we'll kind of cover. Typically we do this as a parent meeting at night. Um, However, I know it's homecoming season, it's really crazy, and it's hard to get people to meetings in the evening, so I thought I'd make this video instead. A little bit about myself. I've been a teacher for 14 years. This will be my fourth trip with students. Mrs. Cadelli, who's also going, as well as Mr. Martin, uh, they are both world travelers as well. And Cadelli and I did this trip. It was our first trip, and we're doing it again as a repeat tour because it was so much fun and definitely one of our favorites. So the reason why I like to travel with students is because I traveled when I was 17 years old. I did an exchange program, and it was life changing. It definitely made me have a much larger global perspective. It helped with understanding what I was learning in school, especially history and English and the arts, and it got me to really kind of work on communication and independence, and it was a lot of fun. Okay, so during our meeting here, kind of our agenda will be to talk about EF. That is the company we use. It is Education First. We'll talk about the tour, why we do group travel in the We Share program, also safety, responsibility, and what you would need to do to get ready to go. All right, so why did we choose EF? There are a lot of programs out there, but we've been working with EF partly because they are um, very much within a student budget. Cadelli and I actually tried to map out a trip without using a company, and there's no way we could do it for the same price. So we chose EF. They also really put safety first. They have an all-inclusive coverage plan, 6-to-1 student to chaperone ratio. The local guides are amazing. In fact, last year when I went to Italy, this last summer, when we were at Pompeii, we actually had a local guide who was also an archaeologist who had been working on the site for 20 years. So that was pretty amazing. Very educational. There's learning going on every moment of the trip. It's really awesome. And our tour directors have been absolutely amazing. I cannot say enough about these tour directors. They're really helpful, very knowledgeable. So this is the best value. You get the highest quality for the guaranteed lowest price. In fact, we shopped around and kind of asked around. Yes, there's other companies out there, but they are a lot more expensive. And in some cases, they don't offer everything that EF offers us. So we wanted to make sure our students got the best bang for their buck. Okay, peace of mind. If anything should happen while we're on tour, natural disaster, civil unrest, anything like that, EF is all over the globe, and so they make sure to work and, to work with our group and make sure that we have alternative arrangements. There's EF people that are very close by because they have so many offices. Okay, wherever we learn, EF is there. And so just what I was talking about, you can see that they have a number of offices where we will be going. You can see Europe is just packed filled. They're actually based out of Lucerne. So they have a lot of offices in Europe. Okay, our tour highlights, so much fun. We will see that we start off in Ireland, and we will actually start off in Killarney, which is my favorite little town. And then we'll head over to the Blarney Castle. We'll see Trinity College, St. Patrick's Cathedral, more castles than you could ever imagine. It's so much fun. And of course, the Ring of Kerry. Then we head over to Wales. We take a ferry, and we will head up we'll stop by and see some castles on the way, but we'll go to Rydal Mount, Stirling Castle, William Wallace Monument. Scotland is by far one of my absolute favorite countries. There's an option to do what is known as the Scottish Ceilidh, and we can learn some Scottish dancing and eat haggis, of course. It's a must. All right. And then we'll go down through England and we will see the Lake District, Shakespeare's birthplace, Piccadilly Circus, Hyde Park, Houses of Parliament. My favorite thing to do is to take a bike ride through Hyde Park. It's a lot of fun. And then of course the trip will end. We can end there, or what we'd like to do is take the extension and head over to Paris and see the Louvre, the Champs-Élysées, and the Notre Dame Cathedral. So why group travel? Well, traveling in a group definitely keeps it more affordable, and it allows the students to see so much more for their dollar. We do combine groups. We've traveled and met up with schools from around the United States. It's been really amazing, honestly. Our kids have established a lot of friendships. In fact, last spring we had a visitor from Pennsylvania come to visit some of the students at Granada that they traveled with the summer before. So they do a pretty good job of matching us up with people from different parts of the United States, and we've never had a problem. It's always been fun. So it's pretty cool. Our departure date window is 7/11/2016 through 7/19/16. We put in a date that we'd like to travel, and we have a window of time that they will be trying to get us on. I've never really had it booked any day but the day that we requested, so it's always worked out. Okay, now you'll see these hyperlinks right here, and I will address those at the end. Okay, WeShare. The WeShare program is where students can learn on a deeper level, excuse me, by connecting lessons throughout the trip to their own lives. The WeShare platform makes sure that this happens, okay? It taps into the students' strengths and passions. It puts a more personal lens on the trip, and it gives them a chance to reflect and share what they've learned through post-tour presentations and videos. It's also going to provide opportunity to earn high school or college credit. If you're interested, just let me know and I can talk more about that or let you know more about that. But it's these experiences traveling. Typically, I have students that write about them, especially on their college entrance essays, about things they've learned about themselves, about the world. A lot of students have chosen to write about the trips they've done overseas as student travelers. Now, the all-inclusive coverage plan, what that covers is tour cancellation and interruption, illness and accident, baggage and property, either damage or loss, flight delays, and 24 access to an English-speaking representative. So that is something I would highly recommend. Now, for safety, the rules that apply and expectations that we have at school are really what we have on the trip. And Mr. Martin and Mrs. Cadelli and I definitely want to make sure the kids have the best time. So we really just ask them to be very respectful and to each other, to the places that we go, and to the people of the countries that we go to. Be very culturally respectful and to always put safety first, okay? The rules that I have and that we've used over the years are really not hard to follow. We've never had a student be sent home or anything like that. We do say that, if we need to, we would send them home at the expense of the parents. But the kids from Granada always have a good time, very respectful. I really do not foresee any problems in the future. And it's just a really unique learning opportunity that they really enjoy and value. Now, what are you responsible for? If you choose to send your student on this trip, what you need to budget for is for spending money for optional excursions, free time activities, souvenirs, drinks, lunches, and snacks. That could be anywhere between $30 and $65 per day. Typically, I don't spend that much when I go. We usually try to educate the students of making responsible decisions and educated decisions before they buy. souvenirs so that they're not buying cheap trinkets on the street, but actually um, items that they can only get in those locations. You will need to have money for lunch. EF provides breakfast and dinner. They pay for all of your flight and ground transportation and all lodging. So the reason why they don't pay for lunch is because they would like you to get out in the culture and try new things. And typically, we'll share food sometimes just because you're not that hungry. They do feed you quite a bit. So it's not like you're starving. And so they do a good job of taking care of you. In the free time, as well as optional excursions, anything like that, we will give you a heads up and we may be able to pre-book some of those so that you can know what's ahead. I know, like when I went to Italy, I went ahead and pre-booked and we just put it into the price of the trip. We did a cooking class in Rome, and that was probably the best thing we've ever done. It was so much fun, where kids got to actually learn how to make pasta and learn, a little bit about the culture, and especially the food culture of Italy. And we had such a good time. So passport is definitely needed, and you will need to make sure you get that taken care of ASAP. All right. Also, tips for our tour director and our bus driver. It's around $10 a day. We'll need to make sure we have that before we depart. Now, passports and visas, everybody needs this. You must have it. You need to have a valid passport that is not going to expire, okay? It basically has to be valid for at least 6 months after our scheduled return date, okay? And passports will take up to 14 weeks to process, so you would need to get on that pretty soon, all right? Some locations do require visas. Pretty sure these locations that I went to them a few years ago, they do not. But that's something we would need to look into. So everything you get with EF, you get a full-time bilingual tour director. Last time we went on this same trip, our tour director, just the sweetest guy ever, and come to find out he was an author, and he gave every student in our group a signed copy of a book that he wrote. And so it was pretty cool. They loved him, and they were like amazed that we had an author with us. They didn't find that out until like kind of the very end. And then he talked about what it was like being an author, and it was really cool. You get an educational itinerary, very educationally based. These kids are constantly learning in really fun, hands-on ways. So it's really exciting. You get to go sightseeing with a licensed local guide that has their education. You're not just allowed to have, sightseeing guides anywhere in Europe. You have to be basically insured and have certification of education. So these are licensed local guides that know their stuff. Okay, entrance fees to selected attractions are also covered. It's really nice. I remember going to Versailles, and everybody's standing in a line that would be like a 2-hour line, and there's a special sign up for EF, and we get to go right in. We don't have to wait, so that's awesome. You also have access to WeShare and the EF online platform for a deeper learning experience that will help you earn either high school or college credit. And then you get your round trip air flight on major carriers, hotels with your own bathroom, breakfast and dinner, and a motor coach, a bus. As well as, if you'd like, you can take the optional all-inclusive coverage plan, which I recommend. All right, you have options for payment. You can pay in full at the time that you enroll, and just using like Visa, MasterCard, ATM, or debit card. You can also do automatic payment plan, or you can do your manual payment plan, where you decide. I do tell students that, with the holidays coming, birthdays, you ask for this. I really love to help kids fundraise for this because I see the difference it makes in their lives. So just let me know. This is how much the trip is. And again, the prices are going to be going up pretty soon. Parents and adults and grandparents are more than welcome to come. We'd love to have you. I've had parents come the last 2 trips, and we've had a great time. And they had such a great time making memories with their sons and daughters. So please, please, please consider coming. And let me know if you have any questions. Just go ahead and email me at snewkirk lvjusd.org.